Oh, woo, friends and enemies. I am a little late. I know, but I made it. I was spending some time hanging out with a few acquaintances. We had fun, we vibed for a bit, and yeah. So, last we left off, we have a branching path here. We have tips 1, and we have chapter 3. Let's go ahead and try to get as many of the tips out of the way as we can before we actually enter chapter 3 in earnest. Yeah? Alright. Let's get started. One thing I had learned while on the job was that spectators had access to 3 world layers. The upper layer was the world I inhabited right now. The place where, book in hand, I flipped the pages and read the stories in writing. The lower layer was the world of the living, a place with fresh air, physical bodies, and everything else that people needed to lead their lives. The middle layer was where we spectators would observe the living, while here I could look down on the lower layer like an astral projection. This was also where I watched the tragic fates of my friends unfold before my eyes, and where spectators would usually stay whenever they were in the middle of reading stories. The bird's eye view offered by this layer would allow spectators to have a full grasp on the story's flow. Looking back at it, I was already able to interfere with the story before the start of the funeral. I even recalled briefly addressing my friends. The librarian must have known that too. Apparently, that was only allowed so I could decide which character to focus on. I dreaded to imagine the scolding I would receive if she ever found out about the true extent of my interference. It would also be nice if I didn't have to bite into my tongue ever again. Anyway, I was now interacting with the story of the 4 people I saw at the cafe. For now, I decided not to interfere and instead focus on merely observing them from the middle layer. I'll remain objective here. Telling that to myself, I strained my ears to listen to the ongoing story. Hey, hands off my meat. Go eat the bok choy or something. No, but that's Toma's. Bok choy, I'll happily eat it if you don't want to. That's not what we were talking about. If you don't take your meat, it'll be gone before you know it. This fatty knows no restraint. Come on, even this guy's eating nothing but meat and tofu. What about the veggies? I'm against eating vegetables by principle. Oh, these king oyster mushrooms are pretty delicious. That's right, Nagaki. They're great. Are you listening to me? Eat your gosh darn meat. 4 of them continued to argue, while sitting around a simmering hot pot. A few days ago, Mamiya really does exist. Otherwise, how are we even supposed to deal with these feelings? All they could do was nod. They felt that everything would vanish if they didn't. 4 of them had all dealt with the loneliness and isolation that came with having wildly different outlooks from their peers. For days they were alienated, misunderstood outcasts, but now they finally found others who were on the same page as them. What would you say to sharing a room? We could spend our time discussing our memories of Mamiya. Things moved quickly after that. Samajima prepared the residence, while Arasagawa gathered the electrical appliances. Samajima had found a large pink house. It was far from convenient, but allowed for distances they could all tolerate. Toma didn't have much luggage, but Nigaki brought over a number of packed cardboard boxes. By late December, the 4 were already living under the same roof. If you ask me, the key to happy cohabitation lies in setting down some rules. So I say we agree on a couple. Starting with the dishes. On Mondays, it's Arasagawa. Tuesdays, it's me. Wednesdays, Nigaki. Thursdays, Samajima. Fridays, Arasagawa. Saturdays, me. Sundays, Nigaki. Objection. Sustained. Go on. Why do I have to clean twice a week while this guy gets away with once? Oh my. A week has 7 days and there's 4 of us, and Samajima is really busy, so he probably can't be here on certain days. You're saying I look like I got lots of free time? I mean, you do. You use the house more than any of us. So it's only reasonable you do the dishes, no? You want to take this outside? Wait, please calm down, you two. Whoa there. You're the one picking a fight. Jesus. Hey, it's just dishwashing. Even you should be able to do that much, right? Okay, let's make it so that Nagaki and I take turns washing the dishes every Friday. You okay with that, Nagaki? Whatever. Some distance away from them, Nagaki's side, and some to the left. Oh, I got a call. Gotta run. And I think I'll go back to practice. I'll head out for a walk myself. And so everyone left, leaving the duty schedule on the table, all by itself. Is it just me? Or are they really ill-suited to living together? I'm really struggling with the urge not to butt in. But I know I shouldn't. I decided I wouldn't interfere with them. I need to stay on a sharp lookout for hints regarding Mamiya. They decided to share a house, but they were complete strangers who had literally just met. In my opinion, it really wasn't going well for them. Even my brief observation was enough for me to pick on their unique quirks. One was really audacious. Another would always wear the same expression, which made him really hard to read. The only girl in the group, albeit stunningly beautiful, seemed to be perpetually upset with a generally low tolerance for other people. The last one had a calm personality and appeared to be the glue holding the group together. But they all seemed to live life their own pace, which inevitably caused many clashes. This was especially true for the 2 adults. Arasagawa and Samajima were woefully incompatible. Oh, Arasagawa, have you seen Samajima by any chance? What would that have been his jerk? He was even more upset than usual. Toma, however, didn't seem particularly bothered by the other's tone. We got a delivery for him, so I figured I'd let him know. And what'd he get? His monthly order of Viagra? Considering how cool it is, it's likely something raw. Raw? Arasagawa's eyebrow twitched. Toma went and placed the cool box in the living room. There's probably organs inside. Nagaki joined in on the exchange. Come on, Nagaki, you shouldn't say that. He does kind of creep me out, though. Here's an idea. Let's use this as evidence to have him thrown in jail. It's a heart. A large shadow dropped over the box. It was Samajima. His sudden appearance made Nagaki put on a feisty expression. This is for you, Samajima. Thank you very much. I'll go ahead and tuck it in the fridge. What, did you just say heart? So it really is an organ. Are you planning a transplant like some kind of mad scientist? But don't be silly now, I'm gonna eat it. You're going to do what? Are you a vampire? Ew! It's an animal heart. I had it ordered fresh from a butcher shop I frequent. An animal heart. A cow's heart to be precise. If it's fresh, we can have sashimi. In fact, why don't we have just that for tonight's dinner? Can we? I would gladly. Not so fast. We agreed to have a takoyaki party tonight, remember? We did? Great. Just when I thought we were out of the woods, she goes charging back in. Oh, we absolutely did. We even have the octopus. But the day's the only day we could have cow heart sashimi. Nagaki, would you mind if we postpone the takoyaki party? I need to give the pan back tomorrow, though. I see. Still. Andy falls silent. It's your fault for buying something that made a mess of things. Oh, it is? Don't be young and so easily manipulated. Visibly annoyed by the pitying looks he gave him, the 2 students slink away. By the way, just how much of the fridge are you planning to occupy? Seriously, a heart? Want me to shove your goddamn heart in the fridge next time? Oh dear, I see the 99er among us sure is busy opening and closing the fridge. Oh! A 99er.
I couldn't say.
99er. So, is the events of the Pink House are definitely happening in 2012 then? Compared to how much of this place you occupy, that seems like a minor problem. Come on, Arasagawa, will you please give it a rest and prepare the takoyaki party already? Sawajima, I think you should really hurry up and put it in the fridge. Ignoring the two, Arasagawa and Samajima stood up slowly and closed the distance between them with the table at the center. I think you're getting something wrong here. Guess I might as well use this opportunity to clear things up for you. Making insulting me, go right ahead. You're the one who will be arrested. Only if you still have enough energy left in you to call your boss. Oh, and how about you? If you're planning to call an ambulance, now's your only chance. Wait a minute. Samajima. Isn't that... Isn't that Suo Kato's... like, temporary guardian when his parents are out of town? Uh-oh. The takoyaki party? The heart will spoil and won't be any good for sashimi. What a mess. Back off, music student. Go ahead and eat the goddamn heart if you want it so much. Nagaki, there's a shop near my workplace that specializes in takoyaki. You can go and buy you some next time. That's not the issue here. I decided I want takoyaki now. This has already been said, so don't you make a mess of it. Go on, be nice, and heat up the takoyaki. I can't just go ahead and eat the heart. I need permission first. Also. Aren't we having takoyaki? Are you not planning to stuff your face with a raw... You're not planning to stuff your face with a raw organ, are you? Honestly, Nagaki, we can eat takoyaki whenever we want, but hard sashimi is a rare delicacy, you know? I'm not interested in organs. Please give it a try first. Even Nagaki and Tomo are angry. They slid between Arasagawa and Samajima, making two adults raise a curious eyebrow. Hey, you're in the way, goddammit. Go the hell away. Excuse me, this isn't your house. Why would I even listen to you? Because I've been here the longest. So you finally admit it. When you really think about it, though, I was the one who found this place, so technically it's mine now. If you please move aside. If I do, she'll start a takoyaki party. Why won't you let me? As their argument continued to escalate, Nagaki snapped and pointed at Arasagawa and Samajima. Why are you two acting so big anyway, with your backs against the wall and stuff? You're being like Mamiya. The heated air cooled off in an instant. Yeah. Mamiya did that all the time. Mamiya likes standing next to walls. She'd wear that usual grin of hers and keep observing me with her hands joined behind her back. It was like he carefully weighed each of his words before uttering them. And because he'd always stand next to the wall, I often had to turn my back to large open spaces, which made me feel sort of helpless in a way. Mamiya stands next to the wall. Yeah, she really did that. Oh man, it sure makes me happy to talk about Mamiya. Standing still, the four exchanged a hearty laugh. The argument, the raw heart, the takoyaki, they all seemed so pointless now. In the end, they decided to cook the heart like they would have cooked the takoyaki. They were just happy to share their memories of Mamiya with someone. The four of them could barely get along, but reminiscing about Mamiya managed to bring a smile to their faces. The profound peace that these stories had given them made me painfully aware of how much joy Mamiya had brought into their lives. Mamiya is supposed to be this cruel, merciless reaper of lives, but to them, Mamiya is almost like a deeply cherished entity. How is that possible? And how is Mamiya reflected in their eyes? What you reading, a teen mag? Would you mind getting out of my face? Come on, I'm writing about a chick your age. Give me some material. Leave me alone, or did you run out of things to do? Don't you have a job? Look, I'm about to start working. Actually, that gives me an idea. Come with me. Hey, wait, stop pulling me. Where did the others go? The arcade. I see. Well, that's a shame. I just gave the duty table another thorough look. Was hoping to hear their opinions. Shall I go over it for you? I'd appreciate it, though keep in mind I essentially revised it for their sake. I'm assuming we'll have plenty of garbage this week as well. Why do you look so happy about that? Anyway, we have to do something. Toma glanced at the calendar. The year was nearing its end. Do you know what day it is? You tell. Year-end tax adjustment day. No, it's New Year's. Look around. There's way too much garbage here. Let's take this opportunity to clean up. The other three's expressions had turned sour before Toma had even had a chance to finish the sentence. You gotta be kidding me. This is what I cleared up my schedule for? Gee, if I hadn't known this, I would have gone to Shibuya. I forgot to pick up the New Year's gift envelopes. May I go buy some? Well, I suppose you could go. Wait, no, let's just clean up. God, what did I even do to deserve this? Cloth in hand, Nagaki mumbled idle complaints under her breath as she busied herself with wiping off a dirty window. There's gotta be a way to skip out. She looked behind her. She saw Samajima slowly wringing out a cloth with a surprising amount of effort. I'm quite good at cleaning with the cloth. Wherever I wipe, not a single stain is left. A chill went down Nagaki's back. On second thought, maybe not. Don't need that, or even that. Yeah, I might as well throw all this out. Wow, Sagawa's side is so clean. We'll need to see he actually does know how to clean up. Samajima's corkscrew, don't need that. Use detergent, just get a new one, Jesus. Cactus. Who's even watering this thing? Oh, what? Guess I'll just borrow this. Sagawa. Hey, could somebody please explain what all these cleaning supplies are doing here? Oh, these? They're mine. See, you keep them down unless I wash my hands with peroxide. Okay. Oh, wow. It's that book about Debussy. I thought I lost this. Who would have thought it'd be here of all places? Interesting. Very interesting. Yo, Bach, put the book down and get back to cleaning. You'll just end up reading the holy goddamn thing in one setting. Oh, sorry, my hand just moved on its own. What's this album? Is it from Arasagawa's school years? Don't make it your job to check random shit. Samajima, there's a place you can't reach. Arasagawa, I'm watching to see what you said, but that album really was. The two had glanced away for only a moment, but when they looked back... Hey. Oh. Saw Arasagawa and Samajima locked in the glaring contest, almost like they were about to go for each other's throats. Guess I'll be settling my score with you before the year's out. I'm curious, I was thinking the exact same thing. You can hardly ring the New Year's bell with such filth around. Why does this always happen? Will you please stop pointing the spray cleaners at each other? Ah! Arasagawa, my special cleaning sticks aren't for throwing. Do your eyes need cleaning? Shall I wipe them for you with this sponge? You're not exactly being thorough yourself, buddy. I guess you just can't avoid blind spots, can you? Don't worry, though. I will stuff these into each and every one of your holes. Come on, that's enough of you two. Toma watched their heated exchange with soapy hands. But since he had no power to stop them, he simply looked around uncomfortably. Nagaki. God, you people drive me up the wall. Well, that's it. I'm done. I'm out. I'm going back to my parents. Guess I'll go clean the kitchen then. What, you're gonna keep cleaning? You should just leave them here. We can't greet the new year when there's still work to be done. It's the only thing on my mind. Goodness gracious. Listen up, losers. Get back to work or else. Who are you calling a loser? Come on, there are some who'd enjoy that kind of verbal abuse. God, I wanna go home so bad, but Toma's still trying. Yeah, Arasagawa, we're wiping glasses. Samajima, go clean the kitchen with Toma. Huh? Don't hummy, it's already been decided. Do it or your darling will get a flat tire as a New Year's gift. You took my mini hostage? I suppose we have no choice then. Let's go, Nagaki. Don't want to order me around, you monkey. The cleaning, which they started early in the morning, ended up lasting until the evening. Oh, Kahaku's up. I didn't prepare any New Year's soba, though. I wonder if I'd make it in time if I started now. Do you even have the energy to do that? I can go without soba. Really? A New Year without soba? Why not just get some udon? New Year's udon? That's heresy. Pipe down, Bach. You made the ED have a heart failure. I wasn't shocked at all. Sorry, Samajima. The things that get you mad are so weird sometimes. We got Red Fox and Green Tanuki. That'll do, I guess. The four slurped their cup ramens in front of a bulky CRTV, watching the national singers perform. Suddenly, Arasagawa changed the channel. Hey, what gives? No one was watching that anyway. Screen now displayed a variety show with suited adults having a serious conversation. The world will end before New Year's? Though they weren't too interested, they all listened to what the people on the TV were saying. Just let it end already, someone misheard. Everyone present shared the sentiment. The end of the year, huh? This reminds me, I actually died without doing any major cleaning for the year. I suppose this takes place a little bit ahead of the story I interfered with. I'd last met Kikuchiro and the others on the second Friday of December. We seemed to be behind these four, who were just about to enter the next year. I sort of just assumed that both groups had started on the same point. Can't just be making assumptions like that. I'm going to need more information. Huh? My vision is losing focus. What was that? Vision half in static. The dark despair-addled faces of the people from the pink house. Oh, hi, Gizia. Hi. And bodies covered in blood. The ending depicted here was... No. I don't want to see anyone hurt or lose their lives. I've had enough of that. It's all Mamiya's fault. Why are you so... Why? Okay. Chapter 3. And then I had this idea. What if we put the letter in Natsumi's grave, then dig it up and open it like a time capsule 10 years later? The future us will read how we felt about him. Doesn't that sound great? Well, it's an interesting, fantastical, and wonderful idea, but it might get you arrested for grave digging and vandalizing the dead. Aww. They're still not here, huh? Yeah. 10 minutes earlier. Alright. Fixed my tie and went on my way to the church. My strong, determined manner of walking and furrowed eyebrows were only a means of dispersing my worries. Just thinking about what we'd have to talk about made me weak in the knees. Congrats on completing the second tips. Yes. If I failed this, it would be faced with a violent death again. There was absolutely no room for mistakes. The tension alone is making my stomach hurt. And that was nothing compared to everything else I had on my plate. Why on earth did I claim to be Natsumi? I got greedy. There was no other way to put it. I should have just thought of a fake name. Why did I even take a risk by using my real one? My face flushed red with shame and embarrassment. Why did I do it? I hadn't done anything this greedy back when I was still alive. My cheeks are still warm, but my stomach's cold and lonely. Some combination, huh? I ended up having to lean on the walls to make it all the way to the church. It was exactly 1700 on a Friday. I watched the second hand reach the top, then open the heavy door. Ah, Natsumi, hello. A youthful voice resounded through the church. It came from the tall young man known as Suo Kato. He stood up and greeted me with nothing but politeness. Huh? Where were the others? I looked around but saw only him. Where's everyone else? I don't know. I just arrived myself. Maybe they're running late? Let's wait a bit. I sat down next to him and watched the time as we waited for the other three to arrive. Half an hour had already passed yet no one turned up. The conversation with Suo Kato was going in circles too. His impatience had grown so much he even started counting the empty seats in the church. Maybe they forgot to come? My complaints got a miserable "oh no" out of Suo. What if they're intentionally staying away? We don't even know how to get in touch with them. Should we hold another funeral for Natsume? Don't say things like that. The situation both saddened and hurt me. I had asked them all to come warn Natsume, yet the only one to show up was Suo Kato. Then again, I should have expected this. They'd already been to the funeral, and it wasn't like they knew me all that well. It really drove home the point just how weak and friendless I was. Wallowing in self-pity, I sounded a brief chuckle, which was when my eyes finally met Suo's. He looked somewhat perplexed. Well, since he was here, the least I could do was honor his wishes to the best of my abilities. So what do we do now? Do we call it a day, or start the discussion with just the two of us? Suo Kato looked into the distance and made a ponderous Since we took the time to come here, I would at least like to discuss what's best for Natsume. It'd be nice to do it with more people around, though. I see. I nearly went ahead and thanked him, but managed to hold back. Are you free after this, Suo? Or maybe you need to be home by a certain time. Oh no, I'm free for the day. Let's go then. I stood up and looked down at Suo, which seemed to have puzzled them. I didn't have any means of contacting them, but I did know their stories. Let's go find them. We'll start with the school. Kikuchi, Ryo, and Tojo Minato attend the same school. We might be able to find them there. Since you're familiar with all that, I'm assuming you also went to that school? I did, yeah. We looked up at the school building. I'd been attending this place until just a few days ago, but now it actually seemed kind of nostalgic. Let's head inside. Natsume, that's the student entrance. Huh? Oh, right. The guest entrance leading into the all-familiar school building looked so distant that it made me feel almost like a hopeless romantic who had been cast aside by the object of his affection. What business do you have here? The aged employee behind the glass was another familiar face. I briefly hesitated to answer, but a quick glance at Suo Kato gave me a flash of inspiration. We came to take a look at the school. Suo, my little brother, is considering enrolling here. Good thing it was December. Plenty of people would check out schools around this time of year in preparation for the coming entrance exams. I could tell that Suo was looking at me, but I kept a composed expression and went along with my lie. But he kept it cool. Okay. I realized it might be rude of us to barge in like this uninvited, but since we have to pass by, give me a moment, I'll ask the school's administration. Thank you. The aged employee stood up and disappeared further in. Suo Kato was about to say something, but before he could, the man returned with a familiar smile on his face. You're allowed to look around. Please hand these cards around your necks. Thank you. He made a smile and said, thanks for everything, we might never meet again. The man reacted to it with a puzzled expression. But I go to a school that covers both middle and high. Suo Kato pouted. It's fine, we got in, didn't we? Oh, and you? As my older brother? Seriously? Just play along. The tall young man flashed an uncharacteristically mischievous grin, making me feel a little bit embarrassed. We're here, Kokichi, Ryo, and Tojo Minato go through this class, and so did I. I timidly opened the door and saw only a handful of students inside, their figures bathed in the evening sun. Sorry, may I ask something? Huh? What is it? They initially gave us suspicious looks, but eased once they spotted the cards on their chests. I knew these people. They belonged to Tojo Minato's group of friends. We're looking for Tojo Minato. What's your business with him? Like true modern children, they didn't open up to strangers very easily. My brother here is thinking about taking the entrance exam for the school, and Tojo's the one who recommended it to him, so we figured we'd drop in to say hi. No, Tojo left right when classes ended. Yeah, he's got a part-time job. I see. What about Kikuchi Ryo? My question sent a wave of confusion across the room. Kikuchi? We don't know. I see, thank you. Great. I shouldn't have said that. I rushed out of the classroom, hoping they would magically erase my blunder. I had to hurry before Suo Kato realized something. How did it go? They already left. Let's go somewhere else. Ah, okay. I would have preferred to stay a bit longer, honestly. You don't usually get a chance to walk around someone else's school, you know? Let's drop by some other time, then. I tapped him on the back, and we both went back the way we came. I threw one final glance in the classroom, realizing the seat belonging to Natsumi was now gone for good. They're probably at their part-time jobs. I knew from the stories that Kikuchiro worked at a donut shop, but damn, I have no idea where Tojo Minato works. It might have been a good idea to ask his friends, but since we had already left the school, it seemed odd to suddenly show back up. Thought back to all the stories I had read in the hopes I'd remember some kind of hint, but I was drawing a total blank. I do know where he lives, though. You do? How? Suo was visibly shocked when he heard me mumble to myself. Oh, well, I kind of just know. I tried to laugh it off, but he kept staring at me with a look of profound confusion. Natsumi, could it be that you're actually... I was really hoping you wouldn't suddenly label me as a criminal. That was honestly the last thing I wanted him to see me as. A private detective? Huh? You look so much like one, it's gotta be the trench coat, you know? Oh. Huh? Did I get it wrong? No, I'm just ashamed, as all detectives should be able to blend in without getting found out this easily. I made a troubled smile. Suo was positively beaming from ear to ear. Yeah, but it's so obvious. I guess it is. I'd have to use that from now on. After some walking, we arrived at the donut shop where Kikuchi Ryo worked. Unless he was picking up his little sister Midori or out shopping, he would be there. Yeah, he opened the door hoping to find him inside. Welcome. And there he was in the flesh. He stood behind the register, eyes sharp as usual. Kikuchi Ryo. I'm so glad we found you. Right. As I rushed in front of him, Ryo simply kept nodding with his eyes wide open in shock. Oh. I'm impressed you knew where I was. Seeing my face seemed to jolt at his memory. I'm glad he remembered me. I haven't forgotten about our agreement, but I found out just last night that I'd have to handle today's shift as well. And I had no way of letting you know, so I'm really sorry. I made a deep bow. It's fine, don't worry about it. I was planning to drop by the church after my shift, even if I ended up running late. I found myself moved by his sincerity. He did actually intend to keep his promise. Wow, these donuts look crazy good. Anyone in particular you'd recommend? Kato is so innocent. Yes, Kato is a cinnamon roll. A psychotic cinnamon roll. But a cinnamon roll. Suo must have been hungry, and understandably so. It was getting kind of late. His eyes glittered with joy as he surveyed the lineup of colorful gem-like donuts on display. Absolutely, our strawberry ring donut comes highly recommended. Kikuchi Ryo raised his voice and puffed out his chest, both rare actions from him. However, I see. Oh, I'll have one of those whipped cream donuts. Alright. His passion didn't seem to reach Suo. Or a bit crazy golden retriever. He's a golden retriever until his boredom and loneliness hit a certain point, at which point he goes full yandere. Like, I've had this discussion with myself over the course of the last few days about the characters to try to get a better feel for it. And yeah, I do still ship Kaito and Ryo, but Kaito has to be in a more stable situation in order to be, you know. They all do need therapy, yes. And then double dates. Yes. Yes. Where was I going with that? Right. I just realized something. I'm gonna save right here. I'm going to check something real quick. Because I think I said something about it when I first noticed it. Samajima. I knew it. When Kaito Fair. Let me while I'm that should be better. This is what I noticed. I didn't notice it earlier. But Samajima Satoru is one of the 4 in the pink house. Samajima. I'm willing to bet that Samajima Satoru is the one who interfered in Kaito's perception, saying that Mamiya was his and his alone. That's all I wanted to say. Tojo Minato also failed to show up at the meeting, so we're actually looking for him too. Tojo? If he's not at school, he should be at his part-time job. And do you know where that is? No, I don't. Really? But I thought you two got along. Well... Kikuchi Ryo placed a hand on his forehead, seemingly thinking about something. I used to know where he worked, but then he suddenly switched jobs. I mean, you could try to look up his previous workplace, but I doubt you'd find him there. I wouldn't count on it at any rate. He's kind of fickle like that. I see. In that case, we were probably better off moving Morishika Haruki up the priority list and starting with him instead. I nodded in understanding. Thanks, Kikuchi Ryo. We'll come back once we're done. Sure. Alright, next up is Morishika Haruki. He's not a student, is he? Do you know where he works? Probably nowhere. Nowhere? You mean he's an adult without a job? But we already have 2 working students. True. Why doesn't he work? Why? That's a good question, actually. My heart ached for Suo's purity in regards to people like Morishika Haruki. Albeit in his own way, Morishika too was difficult to get a hold of. We first went to the pachinko parlor he frequented. Natsume! Suo Kato! The noise here was far worse than I had expected. I eventually got used to it and decided to start looking for Morishika Haruki, but minors aren't allowed in here. Huh? Suo Kato was stopped by an employee. But I'm an adult, look, I'm even taller than you. But you're wearing a school uniform. Wait here, Suo. I'll be quick. I heard inside the parlor, leaving a deeply shocked Suo at the entrance. I looked through the entire place, but found no trace of Morishika anywhere. I had no choice but to ask around. Grinning to myself how detective like this would be, I approached the closest person. Excuse me, I'm looking for a person by the name of Morishika Haruki. I spoke politely and with a smile, but that only got me a glare. He didn't seem to be in a talkative mood. I went away and racked my head over the situation. Approaching several people made me realize something. The people at these gambling places were generally of a fluctuating mood. They could be more open to talking if the gambling was going well enough to lift their spirits. Excuse me, I'm looking for a person with the name Morishika Haruki. You a cop? Did the son of a gun finally get busted doing something crazy? No, I'm just a friend. Going by his reaction, he seemed to know him. Hoping to learn more, I repeated my question. I don't know, people here don't get too involved with each other, though I do recall him saying something about Shinjuku. Shinjuku. The vagueness of his answer came as a shock, so much that I ended up just leaving. Any luck finding him? Outside, I found Suo Kato waiting for me. He reminded me of a large dog who had to be left outside the supermarket. No, he wasn't in there. Let's see. Wait, do you happen to know Morishika's address? I mean, you said you knew Tojo's, so... I don't. Besides, he's the kind of person who's always on the move. Finding him won't be easy. Well... Both our shoulders dropped in disappointment. I really wish I'd gotten a hold of their numbers or something. It might not have been necessary for the other two, but Morishika Haruki was undoubtedly the kind of person who could only ever be contacted through his cell phone. How am I even supposed to find the number of a guy like that? Wait a second. Ah! I know it. I do actually know his number. Huh? Really? Yes, cell phone. As I kept frantically sifting through my pockets, realization suddenly hit me like a runaway train. I gave it to Mina. You did what? Damn it, I don't have it memorized either. No matter how hard I tried to remember, I couldn't go beyond 080. This body didn't even belong to Natsumi Tsuchiro, so the phone I'd given away was technically no longer mine. What now? Just when I found a way to contact Morishika Haruki, I ran into yet another roadblock. My own past actions made me feel positively mortified. So why not just meet the person you gave it to? Yeah? He said it in such a nonchalant manner, it almost made me choke on my spit. Meet Mina? As in right now? Did I hear you right? Yeah, it would solve all our problems. Let's just do it. Meeting Mina again. I need some time to prepare. Are you serious? We can't keep Ria waiting. Oh, you're right. Let's go. After a bit of pep talk from Suo Kato, we promptly headed off to Akihabara. Are you sure this person will be there? Absolutely, she's got a Friday shift, so unless something urgent came up, she should be there. I'd opened a good amount of doors today, but none of them made my heart keep on jackhammering in my chest the way this one did. Welcome back, Master. Is Mina around? Yes. Oh, her previous master is just about to leave, so I'll go ahead and show you to your seats. So Kaito was blinking in confusion, but I walked in like it was nothing. This place is amazing. There's so many servants. This is just a maid cafe. The waitresses are dressed as maids because it's their theme. Wow, these drinks sure are expensive. And why does a small rice omelet cost 1,500 yen? Suo Kaito! I whispered a scream at him. He didn't understand that this was a special rice omelet, imbued with maid magic. For a modest extra fee, you could even take photos. This added value far exceeded anything you'd find at the usual cafe. Sorry for the wait. The frills at the edge of my vision made me look up. Welcome back, Master, and thank you for choosing me. My name is Mina. The lovely smile that boomed on Mina's face would have put even the most exquisite flowers to shame. Wow, nice to meet you. I'm Suo. The pleasure is all mine, Master Suo. Who is this gentleman with you? I couldn't breathe. That hurt, but I had to talk. Not a single second of her time would be wasted. Natsume. I'm Natsume. It's a pleasure to meet you, Master Natsume. Her expression wavered. It was because she remembered the Natsume that had passed away. May I take your order? We would like to have a word with you. We'd like 2 special rice omelets and 2 milky strawberry drinks, please. Natsume, what about the number? Certainly. Please wait right here. Mina's long black hair swayed behind her as she walked away. Oh, Natsume. Yeah, it's obvious that Natsume's in love with Mina. God, she's so cute. I followed her with my gaze and with an enamored expression until someone went and shook my shoulders. Natsume, remember why you're here. Ah. Right, Marchika Haruki's number. I know, I got this. Exactly, we can't keep Rio waiting. Yes, of course, I kept on nodding while trying to pull myself together. Sorry for the wait, here's your rice omelet. Yay! Let me cast a spell on it. Here I go. Moe moe stop. There you go. Please enjoy. I will. Natsume. Ah! This was bad. Just seeing Mina was enough to make me forget why I'd come here in the first place. Definitely wasn't to improve my relationship with Mina. I had to prevent my friends from dying. I love him, said Big Lamau. Yeah. I made a stern expression and looked at Mina again. Mina, we actually came here because we have something important to ask you. What would that be? Mina's twin tails gently fluttered as she tilted her head to the side. It was entirely too much for my heart to handle. Hang in there, Natsume. Deep breaths. Okay, I'm fine. I put my jumbled thoughts in order, then got straight to the point. I believe you have Natsume's phone. Suddenly, the very air changed. How did you know about that, Master? He asked me to come get it. I see. So it was true, she whispered with her tiny, delicate lips before raising her head. I kind of suspected that was why you came, so I went and got it before bringing you your meals. She reached into her apron's pocket and took out a black object. I heard Sao Kaito let out an excited wow next to me. May I borrow it? Sure, here you go. I took the phone from her and looked for more Chika Haruki's entry. I found it right away. It was the number he'd given me a few years ago. I pressed the call button. There was no guarantee he'd pick up, but I had to try. Doing this made me grimace. This was probably how Marachika Haruki himself must have felt back then. Hello? Marachika Haruki? Dude, who are you? Natsume, the one who waited for you at the church. Oh. Where are you now? Why would I tell you? Because you promised. I waited for you. I thought I'd never see you again. There was silence on the other end of the line. I was just walking around. Should I go to the church now or what? Wait, no. Come to a certain donut shop. I'll send you the location. What a pain. He clicked his tongue and ended the call. I sent him an email, but I got no response. Would he really come? I managed to contact him. Thank you, Mina. I gave the cell phone back. Mina looked at me as if she wanted to say something, but instead settled for a curt, I see. Held onto the phone like it meant a lot to her. In any case, do enjoy your food. She then disappeared further into the cafe. Natsumi, this went great. We had a rice omelette and exchanged a smile. It might have grown a little cold, but its magic filled our hearts with warmth all the same. Surely even Suoketo could understand that. Now we just have to find Tojo Minato. Should we go where he lives? I'll bring him some anpan and milk. I think we should visit Kikuchiro at the donut shop first. Seeing how the shop was on the way, I promptly nodded to myself, then finished up the rest of my rice omelet and washed it down with the syrupy, sweet, milky strawberry drink. We're back, Kokichi. Everyone's here. Huh? Pointed his finger behind him at Morichika Haruki and Tojo Minato. Tojo Minato? Gosh, I'm so sorry. The whole thing completely slipped my mind, but then I kind of just remembered it out of the blue. I asked Ryo, and he said we were gathering here, so I hurried over. I was pleasantly surprised by his unexpected appearance. Morichika, you decided to come too? Let's just get this over with, okay? I gave him a warm smile, but he hastily averted his gaze, seemingly annoyed by it. It had gotten quite late, but still getting to see them all in one place warmed my heart to the core. Shall we begin, then? I made a solemn nod as I looked over the 4 people gathered here. Let's think about what to put in Natsumi's coffin. Long story short, today's discussion didn't go anywhere. There were suggestions, of course, like Natsumi's favorite foods, trinkets, and hobby items, but there wasn't a single thing that all 4 of them could unanimously agree upon. The meeting thus came to a close on a rather sour note, after which we all went our separate ways. What do you want? Let me guess, it's about interfering. You want to know the downsides, don't you? Oh, I've already interfered, actually. Silence. Are you a dumbass? Wow, I had no idea someone could be that rash. Or what? Did you only hear what you wanted to hear? No, I thought about it long and hard. Hold on. Sorry. Is what I'd like to say, but my mind was made up before I even considered it. No amount of thinking would have ultimately changed my decision to interfere. I had to find a way to make them happy, even if only for a little bit. Good grief. Well, whatever. What's done is done. Just be careful around the librarians. You wouldn't believe how quickly they change their behavior. Right. So what do you think about interference? I was happy to get to talk with them again. I took some time to process the day's events. Everything happened at such a hectic pace, I never actually had any time to sort through my feelings. It was only now that it occurred to me that the day I had just experienced was filled with the things that my old self, the Natsumi that died, could have never experienced. My resolve has only grown deeper. Any specific changes? Yes, when I came back there was a puddle of blood on the floor. Anything else? It's also mildly disorienting to no longer have my original body. How do you even... Oh, right, not only did you keep your old memories, you actually got assigned to your own world to boot. I don't envy you, pal. I can only hope I'll get used to it eventually. So, why exactly are you so attached to them? Huh? I mean, I get that y'all were best buds in life, but they're nobodies to you now, so what gives? You still have your memories, but you now belong here to the heavens. It's messed you up a bit. You normally wouldn't care this much about a bunch of lower realm folks you've only known for a couple of years. But what drives you? Well, I was really happy to be born. I remembered the time before Natsumi Suichiro's death, back when I was still enjoying life. Even if the River of Oblivion made me forget the immediate events leading up to my death, the memories I shared with them were still with me. Before dying, I had a different disposition than I do now as a spectator. It's hard to explain, but the world back then seemed so wonderful and brimming with life. It felt like everything I'd ever touched was handcrafted by someone. The idea that nature had spent so much time creating all this filled me with an immense amount of gratitude. Every person I met was a miracle, and I did genuinely cherish them with all my heart and soul. Including, of course, Kikuchi Ryo, Tojo Minato, Morchika Haruki, and Suo Keto. Those four were special. I was drawn to them almost instantly. I had no specific reason, but even trying to come up with one would have been rude, I think. Guess you could call it fate? They've been on my mind all this time, even back when I was still alive. We may not have been overly involved with each other, but the fact remains that I did cherish them. So I want them to be happy. That's the only thing I truly want. I have no other desire. A moment passed in silence before he finally whispered back at me. I wonder if you'd have turned out like this if you remembered your final moments. The main factor behind becoming a spectator is to reach enlightenment. Nirvana, if you will. Huh? Make no mistake, you've been chosen as a spectator precisely because you reached Nirvana. What? You retain your memories. You're appointed to the story you're in. Now you're interfering with that very same story. You're a real anomaly, but don't worry about the certainty of your own existence. Natsumi Suichiro definitely existed. Excuse me? Here, relax. I'm sure things will go well for you. Where were you, if you don't mind me asking? Oh, I just needed to walk for a change of pace. A walk should be acceptable. I must, however, remind you to stay away from the darkness. The scent of sin might seep into you. Yes, I can smell it quite clearly. This isn't the scent of paper. Really? Seeing how intimidated I was, the woman's lips curled into a smile. Us librarians boast a keen sense of smell. We're always surrounded by books, you see, so any other smell we pick up tends to stand out. What we librarians do is merely fix books. You would do well not to forget that. The meaning behind those words sent a chill down my spine. When she had left, I breathed a heavy sigh. My heart was still going like a locomotive. Good thing she didn't pry any further. Made me think back to that mysterious voice behind the door. What was he confined in there for? Actually, never mind. I have no time to start worrying about the others right now. All I need to think about is setting their story on the right course. It was my personal quest, my holy mission in a way. Mamiya, a shared illusion of the world's end. Is this really alright, though? The reason I'm here is to save my friends from Mamiya, or am I constantly biting my tongue for nothing? Though I had my hands full just mediating between them and I couldn't focus on their individual stories, for a while I might have to focus on just one. No, I have no such time. I should rush to the conclusion as quickly as I can. At the edge of the road, all alone, I put my hand on my jaw and lost myself in thought. I started interfering, but before I proceed, it's probably a good idea to get to know them better. I chose to take a detour before doing anything to the story. There was no guarantee that the story would turn out better if I rushed it. And more importantly, I wanted to know to get my friends on a deeper level. Alright. Oh, you need to keep going for a bit on tip 3. Yeah. Tip 3 is what I just started. I'm taking a moment to determine whether or not I want to continue for the night. Okay, my spoons are rapidly... Oh, that's okay. It's getting late. Yeah. Right. Let's go ahead and raid out. If anyone's available for a raid. Let me get them queued up.